laughing?
My film camera just melted.
You're talking so much.
I know. So we were talking about sort of that unrealistic expectation that person comes through the door as, you know, I'm going to be a hairstylist, and I'm going to be doing hair every single day and all the time.
Yeah.
And they're not.
No, and that is the role of the person employing them or managing them, is to set the expectation, to make sure they understand exactly what it is that they are buying into, what their responsibilities are to the salon.
Yes.
For us, our apprentices are fundamental in the running of the business. We couldn't do all the things that we do without them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're assisting the stylists and therapists all the time. They're taking care of the clients. They're helping out.
It's a very responsible role.
A massive responsible role, and I think this is where people don't understand. If you educate and train that apprentice correctly, then you have got a force to be reckoned with within your business.
Well, it gives them a reason to do it, rather than that I'm just a glorified cleaner.
Yeah,
they don't care about me. I'm just a glorified cleaner.
Yeah.
And to me, I had my hair done a little while ago, sometime last year, and the particular salon that I've worked with for years. And so when I got there, we were going to have a quick meeting, but schedules got mixed up, and I was there on a particular day and they weren't.
Oh,
it was fine. Yeah. But when I looked around, they had 3 school ladies who were there to do work experience. Right. So they were 14, coming up to 15 years of age. And the team was sort of trying to work out their schedule, but hadn't actually sort of thought, you know, what am I going to do with these young people? Yeah. So because I knew the salon, I sort of just, well, you know, it's like you just take control a little bit.
You go.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I looked through the schedule and I was sort of like, look, what if we get the ladies to get these particular jobs done, then you've got a gap here. Would you be able to teach them how to do a blow dry? We'll wash one, and then they get to actually have a go. In part because one of them just looked like she really needed a blow dry. And it's really important. People will make a very quick judgment about how good a business is based on how we appear. It's so critical.
This is a massive thing for me. The appearance of my team. They are representing the brand.
Absolutely.
And I'll never forget, this was a couple of years ago, I had a team member at the time who I had to speak to her about her appearance because, in my opinion, she just wasn't on brand for what I believe my team should look like.
Yeah.
And I'm not being dictatorial here, it's not like you must wear this colour lipstick and blah, blah, blah. But, they've got to have clean, washed, well-styled hair.
Absolutely.
They should be wearing makeup. We're in a fashion, hair and beauty industry. To walk in with greasy hair, scraped back in a ponytail.
Oh, no.
No makeup on, dirty nails.
No.
And I had to speak to her and she said, well, I don't have time in the morning. And I said, okay, so you need to get up earlier. And I said to her, do you think I enjoy getting up at 5 a.m. on the days I'm coming into the salon? Not really. But if I'm not going to set a standard of what my team, and I'm not saying people should look like me, some people might absolutely hate my hair colour and not like my makeup, but I feel like I'm making an effort to represent the business in the way I look.
I'll finish my first story and then I'll tell you another one because that will back up on what you're saying.
Cool.
So that was my reasoning. One of them needed their hair doing, but I also knew that, so far a few days they'd already been there, they hadn't actually done anything with hair. Yeah. It just hadn't worked out with everyone's schedules, how busy they were. So I pulled the ladies over whilst they were putting my colour on. Because I think, I might as well do something. I got my hair done. So they sat down, I introduced myself, I explained what I do, and we got chatting, and I explained to them, when you come into the industry and you're going to become an apprentice, you're going to take on the most important role in the salon. Everybody's wage will depend upon you because you are the one that keeps all of the what seems so trivial but are critical to a salon success. How clean it is, how people are greeted, whether they get that coffee, the backwash. To me, especially in hair, it's the time where people are like, oh, it's the best part.
Absolutely.
And we're giving those most important jobs to our youngest people. So if they understand why they're important, it makes a difference to how they do the job. So I explained how important it was. And we had a really good banter. They were lovely ladies. And I said to her, here's the challenge. There's 24 hair stations. It's a big salon. I want you to clean all of the stations, and you've got X amount of time. You work as a team, so talk to each other. Who's going to do what? Help each other. And if you can get it done by that time, you're going to get a blow dry lesson. Well, you should have seen these.
She probably never worked
They
so far.
were amazing.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
You know, you can get really good work out of young people. You've got to communicate and not have your own mindset, isn't it? Mindset.
Absolutely give and take. The more my team give me for the business, the more I can get.
Yeah.
You know, and that is how it is, because at the end of the day, they're getting paid to do a job.
Yes.
And that must never be forgotten.
No, and they are responsible.
But above and beyond that, the more that they give, the more I will want to give back.
Yeah.
And that is the way of the nature of the beast, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
You talked about appearance.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. One of the things I used to do going back many years now was that I would take salon and spa owners out shopping. And it was done to try and give people that sort of moment of like, wow, I didn't realise how important something was.
Yeah.
By getting them, we'd go into salons and ask for price lists. We'd go into major central London, major department stores and stand there with like, I'm not sure what I should do for my skin. It's a bit dry. To see how were we treated? How did they speak to us? How did we feel as a customer? And we met this one lady. Oh my God, she was amazing. When we left, the guys were all pulling out notes. Like, don't say a word. I've got to write down what she said. She was the most amazing salesperson. Now, the rule of the shopping trip was one: you're not allowed to buy anything. And they were like,
struggle with that.
they did. And they explained that, oh my God, there was a point where I just wanted to get my credit card out of my purse and go, I want it all. And then I asked them, would you buy anything from her? And they all went, no. And then we went through, why? And she held with such, like, this is so precious. She held this eye cream and told us how this is the world's best eye cream. Not just the world's best eye cream. It was like £300-400 for a jar that was tiny. And she sat and she stood there, and she explained why it was amazing. Now, up to that point, they were all like, oh, drooling. And they said, as soon as she said it's the world's best eye care, they looked straight at her eyes. And this is why appearance is so important.
Well, her eyes really wrinkly.
She had bags under her eyes that you could have fit your holiday clothes in.
Yeah.
So, if she'd said something like, now, I struggle with a particular condition, or I've inherited my mum's genetics, and so I struggle with my eyes, but this has made such a difference, we would have looked at her eyes and gone, my God, what were they like before she started using it?
Yeah.
But she didn't. And in that moment, we no longer trusted her. And what those managers and owners realised was that how important appearance is. The moment that we say, oh, we offer the best facial, our stylists are incredible, the person will look immediately to that part of our skin, our hair, to make a decision.
Yeah.
Can I trust what you're saying? And if we look like we've been dragged through a bush backwards, the answer is no.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody tried to argue that case with me once, a good few years back now, and they said, maybe they're just too busy to do their own hair. Well, I just laughed. I was just like, no, I said, I will. And it's human nature and it's an instinctual thing. If you're walking in and somebody has bad hair, you're probably not going to want them to touch your hair.
No.
You're just not going to want to.
Well, if that's as good as it is for the people who work there, what are the clients going to be like? What would I walk out?
Absolutely. So, you know, maybe sound like a nagging person sometimes when I say to, you know, okay, we need to have a little chat about this. But it's for the business. It's for the business. And at the end of the day, the business is reliant on clients. And if you haven't got clients coming through the door for whatever reason, the business is going to struggle.
Yeah.
And people's jobs are reliant on the business being buoyant.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
You know, so, you know, it's the whole package. It is what it is. You know.
You touched on there on something, which I'm doing a live on next week. So if you're joining me next week on Tuesday, what's about the 19th, something like that, we're going to talk about unwanted behaviour.
Okay.
Because you talked about them, we're pulling in, having a little chat.
Yeah.
When you, I mean, I don't suppose you have very often cause to have a lot of unwanted behaviour because of how you've set out your standards and how you do your inductions. Yeah. But if you see something that's not what you want in the business, or if someone came to you and said, look, this is what my staff member keeps coming in late for work, how do I deal with that?
It's going to be addressed. You know, the thing is, if you try and pretend something isn't happening, you're giving out a message that that's acceptable within your business. So if it's a new member of the team or somebody that maybe isn't fully embracing our brand yet, they're going through their induction period.
They're learning.
Yeah, they're learning. Then it's an education responsibility.
Yeah.
And if we don't educate them, how are they ever going to improve?
And if you don't educate and nip it then what you're saying is that that's okay.
You are. And it is also being consistent, you know. For me, just because somebody is my top taker doesn't mean the same rules and standards don't apply to them. And I've seen that go wrong in businesses.
Yes.
So often. So the same rules apply regardless of whether you are an apprentice, whether you are a receptionist, whether you are a stylist or a therapist.
Or a manager.
Manager, the same standards apply. Things like timekeeping, you know, it's not acceptable for a member of staff to be turning up for work after the first client's there, you know, after their client is there.
Yep.
Appearance. No, it's not okay for her to come in with greasy hair, but you're expecting
a top knot. Yeah. I can't really be bothered.
Yeah. So it's about having consistency, but also it's about getting the people, for me anyway, it's about getting the people within the team that do know and do understand and do embrace the brand values and, you know, what our standards are. It's getting them to help educate the new people that are there.
Yeah.
So we, in this business, have mentors.
Hallelujah.
So we have, you know, they might be top tech people, or it might just be that they're very good at a specific area.
Yes.
It's not all about money.
No.
You know.
Absolutely.
They will be helping. They will be helping to understand that it's not just my job or my manager's job to educate the new team members and the people that are still learning what we're about. It's everybody's responsibility. For me, my whole team should be educated.
Yes.
Should be setting the standard.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you not realise we don't chew gum when we're working? You know?
Yes.
Silly little things, but they're not silly.
They're not.
Things. I mean, imagine if you were shampooing someone's hair and it fell out and dropped in. Can you actually imagine that?
Oh, it'd be horrific.
It would be horrific.
Can you imagine that sort of like perhaps secretly just trying to pick it out while they're not?
You can't chew gum. No, you can't, because what if it accidentally fell out of your mouth mid blow dry or shampooing? And it could happen.
Yep.
It could happen.
I'll add with that. On one of my shopping trips, we were in a big store. In fact, it might even have been the same day that we met the bag lady. Yeah. And this guy, we went up with him with us, sort of, my skin's a bit dry, what should we do? And then there we are, all as professionals within the industry with years of experience, but playing sort of like,
playing a bit silly.
Would I use a cleanser every day? And he stood there and talked and was going through his little self pad, but he had a bit of chewing gum. and it just kept going like round and around in his mouth.
See,
And when we walked away, we said we couldn't keep eye contact with him because all we could see was this gum.
I know.
And we just watched the gum.
I know.
And again, those owners were like, "That's no gum."
100%.
Absolutely no.
So it is, and it's getting everybody within the team singing from the same song sheet. I know it's an old-fashioned term, but it's true. And that everybody is upholding it. It's not just the manager's job to uphold the policies.
Well, the thing is, one of in my second module of my course is called client team links, because if we don't work as a team, we can't link with the clients, because if it's only me that's doing a right job, I cannot see every single client, and if someone else in the team is meeting my client before me and they've got gum, they've got bad hair, they've got bad breath, they're rude, it won't make any difference how good I am. That person will damage the relationship with the client, because we have a team. Yes, we have a team relationship.
If I can't, hand on heart, say, if I get a client, speak to me and say, who within your team would you recommend? If I can't, hand on heart, say, genuinely, they're all amazing.
Good.
If I can't say that, something's going wrong in the business.
Yeah.
It's different if they say, have you got a colour expert? Somebody that's qualified to that level.
Yep. And you've got one person where you can say they've got a degree.
But if it's about something general, and all of your team are qualified to do it, you should, hand on heart, be able to
trust that they all can.
That they can all do it. And if you can't say that, something needs to change in the business.
Yeah.
100%.
And to me, I think it's sad to see that so many times within our industry, it is the lack of either investment in actual physical cash or just that lack of going, you know what, I don't have yet enough money to spare to send them off to academies or bring someone in. But you know what? I'm going to have to either do it myself or see if I can find a way to invest, because without training, it's going to go.
I think
it's going to go wrong.
It is going to go wrong. Training, you can't skimp on it.
No.
See, I know a lot of salons do cut back and they do a lot of their training in-house. And what I mean by that is, let's just take technical facials as an example there.
Yeah.
So they might go, well, that therapist is trained in certain parts, so she's going to train the others. Personally, I'm not a fan of that kind of training.
No.
I believe all my therapists should be invested in, all of them.
But it speaks. Do you not think it speaks as to, yep, you're part of the team, but I'm not actually, I'm not bothered. Yeah.
I think it looks really bad from that perspective, and it says that you.
It's how you value the person.
Absolutely, it's the value, absolutely. So the training is something you can't scrimp on, because it will get diluted anyway. There are things that can be done in-house. For instance, we had one of our apprentices and our manager go on a backwash day, all about shampoo and the way that should be. It's all about the experience.
Yes.
And we have, for every part of the salon, we have a salon journey. So for the reception, there is a journey. For the backwash experience, there's a journey. For the consultation, there's a journey. So,
and just so anyone who's, because I think we use this word journey a lot.
Yeah.
It is just, what are the steps?
The steps.
This is what happens. This is how it happens. This is when it happens, and then there's consistency in exactly what a client will experience.
Yeah. So what we did, because we in-house trained that, because this is something that we created, but it can always be improved. We don't think that once we've done it, we've done it. We've done it, but it's going to evolve and it's going to change. So what we then did was, as I say, the manager, who is also the Salon trainer, and one of the apprentices went on this day, and they came back and they reviewed the Salon journey with the other apprentices to see, okay, what can we do to improve?
Yeah.
You know, so there are elements of bringing that training back and doing it, but that's different to whether you're actually getting something certified and trained properly. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So you can't script on that. You just can't.
No.
You've got to be prepared to invest. Otherwise, you're going to lose your staff as well.
Yes.
Quite honestly, if you're not prepared, if you make promises to people when you employ them and recruit them, and you don't uphold that, you're going to lose your staff.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, obviously, I'm a trainer, so I am biased. I can't help that. Train your team.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do any research, look, Google it, go anywhere, and you will find a consistent message. Employees will stay longer term with someone if their future, if their career, if their skills are developed. They're being pushed to learn.
They are.
Our brain, our just way humans work. We want progression. We want to improve.
It's also worth being mindful about who you've got in your team, what their personal desires are, what they want to achieve. Because for some people it might be money. For some people it might be, you know, that they want to travel the world and that's what they're saving for. You know, you need to know that kind of stuff. It's important. For some people, it's just providing a secure work environment where they know that they're valued. For some people, it's praise. They want praise. Personal praise above anything else. You know?
That's human nature.
It is human nature.
It's so important. To me, you know, with what you were saying there, it comes down to that importance of having your reviews and your appraisals in which you've got that open communication where your team can say, I would really like to do, because then I can assist and make sure that part of their plan, their journey with us
100%.
is going to fulfill what they need. Because if I don't fulfill that, they're not going to stay.
This business is 12 years old and we're still doing 6 weekly reviews, 12 weekly reviews. With new starters, we have weekly 15-minute meetings.
Yes!
Just to say, how's it going? How's it going? Are you getting what you need? What can we do for you? How can we improve?
Tomorrow's live. That's what I'm going to be talking about.
Sure.
And no, you're fine. And we probably covered it in management training back when we went through those. You know, it is every 12 weeks a full review. 6 weeks, bring out what the plan was, look through it and make sure we're on track. If you're not hitting your target, if you're still learning, if you're still growing, then it's a quick catch up so we can make sure that you're okay, 100%. You're good, and you know this is the direction you are going in.
And it's also giving that one-on-one time with that person.
That you're important to me, and I'm here for you. Rather than getting to sort of week 6 and going, oh crap.
I haven't even had a chat with my manager since I started. You know?
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't really care. And it's so communication.